Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, I want to talk some Chicago White Sox. Alright, so is it me, or did the White Sox just sign everyone this offseason? They signed players like Oprah Winfrey gave away cars. But I'll get to the offseason here in a second. Let's talk about the White Sox's 2019 season. In 2019, they finished with a record of 72-89, which was a 10-win improvement from 2018. They finished 24th in runs scored, 22nd in team ERA, and 25th in fielding percentage. The White Sox did have some good stories this year. Tim Anderson won the batting title. He hit .335, he hit 18 home runs, 56 RBIs, and he stole 17 bases. Eloy Jimenez hit 31 home runs, which was first among rookies in the American League and second among rookies in the major leagues behind Pete Alonso. Jose Abreu was second in the major leagues in RBIs with 121. Yoan Moncada took a step forward. He did strike out a lot, but he hit .279 on the year with 25 home runs, 79 RBIs, and he ranked 22nd in the majors with a .915 OPS. Last but not least, Lucas Giolito had a really solid season, establishing himself as the ace of the White Sox rotation. He went 14-9 with a 3.41 ERA and a whip of 1.06. So now moving into the offseason, they did have a couple of departures. Ivan Nova signed with the Tigers, and they traded away Wellington Castillo to the Rangers. And now on to the additions this offseason. Holy crap, they signed everyone. First off, they signed Yasmani Grandal to a 4-year deal. He ranked 18th in the majors in on-base percentage, and he's one of the best in the business at framing pitches. They made a trade for Nomar Mazara. He's been a steady and serviceable outfielder for the last few years. Next up, they signed veteran Gio Gonzalez to a 1-year deal. He was a little bit injured in 2019, but over 17 starts, he had an ERA of 3.50 for the Brewers. One of their biggest signings of the offseason was Dallas Keuchel. He signed with the Braves last year really late in the season, but he put together a really solid season for the Braves. He went 8-8 with a 3.75 ERA. He was his normal Dallas Keuchel self. He threw a lot of strikes and he induced a lot of ground balls. Next up, they signed a big bat, Edwin Encarnacion. Since 2012, he has hit at least 32 home runs each year, and in the last 3 seasons, he has averaged 100 RBIs. In the last 2 seasons, he has been hurt a little bit more, but if he can stay healthy, he is going to be a really good addition to a lineup that's already pretty good. They also signed Jose Abreu to a 3-year, $50 million deal. Again, I mentioned earlier that he ranked second in the majors in RBIs, but he's not there for just his stats. He is a mentor on that team. He provides leadership for those younger guys. Having Jose Abreu around is only going to help the White Sox. So now let's talk about 2020 for the Chicago White Sox. Let's talk about a couple of names to look out for in 2020. The big one to keep an eye for on the White Sox is Luis Robert. This guy has superstar written all over him. He could be one of the next great players in the major leagues. He is so good that the White Sox already signed him to a 6-year deal, and he hasn't even played in the major leagues yet. He will be their starting center fielder next year. There is no doubt about it. Last year in the minor leagues, he hit 32 home runs and 92 RBIs. He also stole 36 bases. He had an OPS of 1.001. This guy is going to be phenomenal. He gives you speed, he drives in runs, and he hits for power. Like, my goodness, he's gonna be good. Another name to keep an eye on is Michael Kopech. He came over from the Red Sox in the Chris Sale trade. This dude throws gas. He was hurt last year. He had Tommy John surgery, but he is fully ready to go for spring training. He will be a huge addition to that pitching staff that sorely needs pitching. Let's talk about the rotation. I love the addition of Dallas Keuchel. I think he's going to provide some stability in that rotation. He's going to provide some leadership, some mentorship. He is a great guy to have in that rotation. He signed so late last year, he didn't even have a proper spring training. So he's going to have a proper spring training this year. I think he's going to have a good year for the White Sox. However, the best pitcher on that staff will be Lucas Giolito. He's coming off a really solid season on a losing team, so he didn't stand out as much as he should have. But he ranked 6th in the major leagues in hits per 9 innings, and he ranked 5th in strikeouts per 9 innings in the major leagues. If he takes a step forward in 2020, this guy could be really good, and he can be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now let's talk about the lineup. With an all-around player like Yoan Moncada at the top of the lineup, a batting champion behind him in Tim Anderson, power and run production in the middle of the order with Jose Abreu, Edwin Encarnacion, Yasmani Grandal, Eloy Jimenez, with steady production in Nomar Mazara and Lurie Garcia, as well as a future stud in Luis Robert, this lineup could be one of the best in baseball in 2020. However, the one thing the White Sox do need to work on are the strikeouts and the walks. They finished 25th in strikeouts last year, and they finished dead last in walks last year. Their plate discipline really needs to improve. As for the bullpen, this is a question mark. Last year, they did have Alex Colomé, Aaron Bummer, Evan Marshall. Those guys all had pretty solid seasons, but other than that, who else do they have? I think Michael Kopech will be a huge addition for that bullpen. If he can stay healthy, this is a flamethrower that can just come in and just sit guys down. He just has to stay healthy. They're going to need some other guys to step up. Who's going to step up? That's a question mark. My overall projection for the White Sox is that they finish 2nd in the AL Central next year. And I think the Twins will retain their AL Central title. In the end, the White Sox have made great strides to improving their team. They have made a lot of additions. They have done everything they can this offseason. But the Twins have also made really good moves this offseason after a really good season in 2019. They signed Josh Donaldson, Tyler Clippard, Rich Hill, and they re-signed Jake Odorizzi and Sergio Romo. So in the end, both teams, they have good starting rotations, they have good offenses, but the Twins have a better bullpen. I do expect the White Sox to make another huge leap in the wins department. I think they're going to win anywhere from 85 to 90 wins while finishing 2nd in the AL Central. I think they'll be right there in the conversation for the 2nd wildcard spot. If they are within range of a 2nd wildcard spot, I can definitely see them making a move at the trade deadline. They have not been afraid to make moves this offseason. They will definitely make a move if they're within a few games of that 2nd wildcard spot. In the end, though, I think they're going to finish just shy of that 2nd wildcard spot, and I think they're about another year away from making a serious run at the playoffs. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think down below. Do you think the White Sox will win the division? Do you think they can win a wildcard spot? As always, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.